astounding study about all of these different organizations, including the foundation of the National Association of Colored Women and the 28 state studies of women's federations and organizations that fed into that. We're also reading The Negro Church, published in 1903, filled with state studies, but also a statistical breakdown of the different denominations of churches, of black churches. Again, reminding us of an earlier panel on crime and health with the meticulous tallying and calculating of who went where and what the social impact was of this particular institution. One of my favorite parts was a study where there were 1,339 children interviewed about being Christian and about the church. So these were meticulous studies with really interesting answers that beg for future studies. We are reading The Family, published in 1908, which covered marriage, home, economics, and the family group, linking the black family to Africa, finding out what those carryovers were, and studying morals and home budgets, village or rural life versus city life. And then we're also reading Morals and Manners, published in 1914. This was a survey of 4,000 people. 4,000 people. Now this was before email, and you could, just mimeograph surveys and mail out. This was 4,000 people surveyed for Morals and Manners, asking about cleanliness, honesty, home life, rearing of children, amusements for young people, mentioning honky-tonks and dancing and card parties, things like that. And so this was really a series of Atlanta University publication studies that comprehensively defined black life, not only in Atlanta, but throughout the state of Georgia, and comparative state studies in a way that only Du Bois could do. The scholars who have been so gracious enough to go into these readings with us are as follows. Dr. Charmaine Patterson teaches history in the African American Africana Women's Studies and History Department here at Clark Atlanta University. She holds a Bachelor of Arts from Emory University and a Master of Arts from Georgia State University. She earned her doctorate in history from Georgia State. Her dissertation explored the recent phenomena of prosperity theology within the African American megachurch. Her research interests include 20th century African American history and the history of the black church. And the full bios are available online at www.cau.edu, so I won't read the full bios here. Dr. Shirley Waters White attended Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles, where she was among the founders of one of the first black student unions in African American Studies Department in Southern California. She earned her Bachelor of Arts degree in English with a minor in Pan-African Studies at California State University, Los Angeles, with a Master of Arts in Education and concentration in curriculum at the University of Rochester in New York, and the Doctor of Arts and Humanities with a concentration in African and African American Studies here at Clark Atlanta University. Following a successful and fruitful career as an educator in the public schools of California, she currently holds the position of adjunct professor teaching history, including courses in world history, history of Africa, the United States. Her publications include Psalms of Black Women, Black America, State by State Encyclopedia, and Talking About Us, Brothers Ain't Together, and Talking About Us, edited by Bill Wortham. And her book is Women of Power, Sisters of Faith, Women Bishops of the African American Methodist Episcopal Church, which is currently under review. Dr. Philip Dunstan received his BBA degree in Business Management from North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina. He received a Master of Divinity degree, magna cum laude, from Interdenominational Theological Center and Morehouse School of Religion, and obtained his Doctorate of Philosophy from Clark Atlanta University in the area of psychological counseling. Dr. Dunstan received further training in Atlanta Theological Consortium, Emory University, Columbia Seminary, the ITC, and the THD program in the area of psychology and religion. He is currently the chair of the Department of Religion and Philosophy here at Clark Atlanta University. And he has authored several chapters and books, including Keeping It Real, Working with Today's Black Youth, published in 1995. He's also a Du Bois Fellow here at Clark Atlanta University. And finally, Dr. Nkungu Akinyela, a family therapist and partner with the Family Center in South DeKalb. He is a clinical supervisor and of an LLC Assertive Community Treatment Program. He attended undergraduate school at California State University, Northridge in LA, received a BA in Pan-African Studies in journalism, received an MA in marriage, family, and child therapy from Pacific Oaks College in Pasadena, California, and a PhD in family sociology from Emory University here in Atlanta. His publications include Once They Come, Testimony Therapy and Healing Questions for African American Couples, and Revisioning Family Therapy, Race, Class, Culture, and Gender in Clinical Practice. I can attest to Dr. Akinyele's family skills, as he, in fact, married my husband, Curtis Bird, and myself. 3 years ago, we jumped the broom. It was fabulous. Okay. And to sum up, we have Reverend Michelle Meggs, who is a native of Brooklyn, New York. She received her BA in Political Science from Johnson C. Smith University, her Master's of Divinity degree from Wake Forest University, and is currently a doctoral candidate in the Africana Women's Studies program at the AWH department here at Clark Atlanta University. Prior to attending CAU, she served as the women's minister at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. There she developed the women's ministry, which included several health initiatives such as Women's Health Symposium and the Pink Pajama Party breast cancer event. Additionally, she has done mission work, which included preaching and teaching in several cities in Cuba, including Havana, Manzanas, and Santiago de Cuba, as well as in St. Anne's Parish in Jamaica, in the West Indies. Her research interests include African American women's spirituality, Africana womenism, and its role in rebuilding Africana communities and African American women's health. Reverend Meggs will sum up and present closing comments. Thank you all for attending. This is a wonderful turnout, obviously a panel of much interest. And we will begin with Dr. Patterson.